Calculate function evaluates an expression in modified filter context. Most of the time we use the calculate function along with our aggregated functions to filter out the data and aggregated our data. Basically it takes two parameters. One is like a filter context, other one is kind of per measure that will take. We can apply also on the using the boolean or table or filter functions within the calculate function, where you can filter out the data further easily. I mean, without using the filter functions, you can filter the data simply. But let's get into the some examples. So in the first query, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to fetch my sales amount where, where my order date is equals to max of my order date. That is nothing but first it will take the max order date from internet sales, and then it will take the whatever the sales amount for that order date, it will sum it up and it will get displayed for us. So the first query if I execute, that's how it will work. You can see here. So 2643 is our um, sum of the internet sales amount for the where max order date. And that same way, here I defined the measure wise. First I created the measure and then I call that measure in my evaluate function. Evaluate function statement is nothing but like a select statement in DAX. And now similarly you can do same thing even by declaring the variable and call that in your evaluate statement. So here also I use the calculate, and the first one is I take it as my measure, and the second parameter I take it like filter. So here I'm trying to filter out my data and then take the sum of that particular sales amount value. Now if I execute the second statement, I get the my sales amount where my order date is max of order date. Similarly, you can have multiple filter conditions within this calculate uh, function. So here what I did, I just added the filter. Within the filter, I used the two condition. One is the order date, other one is the currency code is 100 again. If I execute this, then I'll get the same results. Not only that, I mean, without using the filter condition, we can also, filter the data. So using the one filter to filter out the data is not only choice. You can remove the filter. Okay, in this scenario, what I'll do, I'll simply remove the filter and then try to fetch the sum of sales amount for where my currency code equals to 100. Let's see what will happen. So here now if I execute this, again the data will be sliced where currency code is 100, and then it will fetch the data of the sales amount. See, I didn't use any filter function here. Without using the filter function, the calculate accept the expression and slice the data where the currency code is 100 and aggregate that sales amount for that currency code and get displayed. And similarly, we can also write um, you know some additional if conditions that we can apply. So in my this query, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to calculate the sales flag. If my sum of the sales amount value is actually less than 2500 based on the customer ID wise, all the customer IDs I'll take it based on the customer IDs. If my sum of the internet sales amount is less than 2500, then I mark that particular row as a low sales. Otherwise, I'll mark it as a high sales. If I execute this, I'll get the detailed level of information because even though aggregated here, it will be calculated at each row in the internet sales. That's how it will work. And moving on, even we can use this calculate function in the summarize function along with summarize function, where I'm trying to uh, do the my flagging wherever I have the so the sales amount is uh, 3 million. Less than 3 million, I mark it like a low sales, where if my sales is greater than 3000, I consider that as a high sales. You can see here along with geography wise, first I fetch the sales amount. For that sales amount, I created a new sales flag based on the threshold value. Anything is below 3 million, then we consider that as a low sales. Above that, we consider that as a high sales. This is how you can use the calculate function. It's a pretty straightforward and simple, and it's very powerful, to slice the data based on your expression. And then that's how the calculate function works. And moving on, we're going to discuss on the next function called calculate table. Calculate table is another important function in the DAX world, where it will take the filter context, whatever the filter that we apply in terms of the expression, and the written value will be always table expression. Basically, it will return the virtual table, whatever we write the function based on that filter condition, it will return the virtual table, and this table will be there in the your virtual memory, which is the RAM, and it will be reused, not reused, it will be um, uh, used along with any evaluate statement. Okay, let's get, I mean, it works like the same way or like a calculate function that we discussed previously, but the difference is calculate function will fetch only the scalar value, whereas calculate table will return the table values. That is the main difference. And this calculate table is very handy, to slice the data and fetch the data in the table format based on the given filter criteria. Let's get into some examples. Evaluate the first query. You can see here I'm trying to create a calculate table for my sales amount and tax amount simply by using this method. And then here you can see the information got calculated. Similarly, the next statement what I did, this time I want to bring my sum of sales amount and the tax amount only where my currency code is 100. So this is how we write the filter to slice the data in the calculate table. Not only this, you can also use the filter function to slice the data and create a calculate table. But in our scenario, I used only the currency code to slice the data. And if I execute this statement, it will fetch the wherever the currency code is 100, and it will aggregate that sales amount and tax amount and bring the data. Uh, so now here, this one is actually again along with the currency code 100, and I'm trying to fetch only the customer ID 11704. Only that customer ID I'm trying to fetch it. What I'm trying to show here, we can use the additional filters with comma separated while we're doing the calculate table. If you notice here, the first statement we used only one filter to slice the data, but here we use the two filters to slice the data by the comma separated. Now the next one is the you can write simply. This is the no. Just I'm trying to bring all my product dimension table columns data where my product class is M. Okay, and then you can also have the multiple filters in case if you want to go with one more filter. So we can write like a color equals to red, then you can do that, it will work. Now it will bring the all product columns data where the class equals to M and the product color is red. That's how this virtual table get created. Not only that, you can also create the nested calculate tables in the DAX world. So here what I'm doing here, first I filter out my data where class equals to M, and again I use the calculate table where my product reorder point is 600, and then I trying to fetch the data. Now you can see it's a filter the data double. That means the nested calculated table is possible. Let's say there is a scenario where you might calculate the table first on top of this calculate table, then again you will use further some expressions to do that. You can easily do using the nested calculated table. um, so both calculate and calculate table are identical, but the return type is different. So that's how the calculate table is works. Filter function is basically help you to filter the data, which is nothing but you can slice the data based on your condition and fetch the records from the different dimension and fact tables. That's how the filter works, and you can see a couple of examples. I captured simple examples, and then here what I'm trying to do. So I want to create a calculate table, the virtual table, where my uh, product color is black. So I want to display the all columns from the product dimension, and I want to take only the rows where my color equals to black. Now if I execute this query, you will get only the black records from the product dimension, and then it will be stored as a calculated table. So here we use the only one condition, and same way you can use many values that you can pass using the filter condition by using the in operator. So when you use the in operator, you need to use the flower brackets to pass the values, multiple values. And then if I execute this statement, so now this time it will bring the data for both black and red product colors, and it will fetch all my product dimension values. Not only that, so the filter function, you can use multiple filters at different attribute level. In this query, third query, here I'm trying to fetch the black and red color products where reorder point equals to 3. And again, this is how I use it. So first I use the filter expression, and first we need to mention the table name, and then the first filter condition, and then I use the operator. So end operator, that is the end operator, or you can use the or operator also by using the double bars. Okay, but it will take the filter function two values. First one is the dimension table name. Okay, what are the initial table dimension or fact table that you're referring, and then your filter conditions, it will take it. That's how the filter function works. It's a very simple and straightforward function, but it's a very powerful function to slice the data based on our business requirements.